Hello and welcome to the morning sports briefing here on Tuesday, the 8th of September. Hope your week has started wonderfully, everybody. It's all been a little bit hectic here at New Zealand Sports Radio HQ, but hey, we are still here, coming to you, helping you start the day the best way every day at 7 a.m. English internationals have been sent home for breaking COVID protocols. We've got the All Blacks being available for the Mitre 10 Cup opening round. Graham Ainsley weighs in on the Warriors controversy. The Bucks cling on and the Lakers even things up. The race has been cancelled. Djokovic has been disqualified from the US Open, and the Central Pulse name a new head coach. The English footballers Phil Foden and Mason Greenwood have been sent home from England's game against Denmark, and that's because they invited the ladies up to their bedrooms against the protocols in Iceland, I believe it was, so they have been sent home. And they just made their debuts of against Ireland, what silly boys that is. So you'd have thought they'd have learnt the lesson of other sports stars who have fallen foul of COVID protocols, but clearly not, and so hence they have been sent home. Over in the NBA, and the Bucks won a tight one against the Heat, 118 to 115. That one went into overtime, and boy, did they need that win, because that means that's the first win in the series against the Miami Heat, and it's 3-1 there. So they are on the brink of elimination. They have to win a few games on the trot there in Milwaukee to survive. In the second game of their series, the Lakers beat the Rockets 117 to 109. A big fourth quarter there, held off a big comeback from the Rockets in the third quarter. Big defensive effort there in that fourth quarter for the Lakers. And so their series is now tied at 1 each. Today, it's breaking deadlocks day today, because the Celtic and the Raptors are at 2-2 in their series, and the Clippers and the Nuggets are at 1-1 in their series. Both those series have a game today, and we'll see who will edge in front in those two. I'm going to hand you over now to Stephen, who's going to take us through our birthdays this morning. Hello, Stephen. Birthday time.
Oh, thank you, Paul. And stunning morning. A beautiful. It's yes. No, I'm right here. You're there, buddy.
I'm here. Off you go.
No, yeah, no worries. I thought you couldn't hear me there for a moment. Do apologise. We'll start that again, everybody. It's a beautiful morning here in Auckland. In fact, it's a stunning sunrise, and it's a great day to have a birthday. And in birthdays today, we've got a former New Zealand tennis player who was a champion at doubles level. He was the number one ranked doubles player at the time. And other birthdays this morning, we have a women's basketball and netball player who won a silver medal as part of the Tall Ferns at the 2006 Commonwealth Games, and we have a former All Black captain who basically changed the way open side flankers play, and that's where we start this morning. Graham Murray, born this day, the 8th of September 1952 in Opunaki in the Taranaki, New Zealand, as a former All Black flanker and coach of the Hurricanes. He was one of the great All Black captains of the late 70s and early 80s. He was first selected for the All Blacks in 1976, captaining a second string New Zealand team that toured South America. Now, that was actually the only time that the All Blacks had two teams touring at the same time. Of course, they had the main side touring South Africa at that time. So he captained that side that went to Argentina. So he went on to captain the All Black side against he was selected against the British Lions in 1977, and then he captained the side to France the following year, and he replaced Tani Norton as the captain. He ended up playing 61 matches in total, 57 of them as captain, but he was also well remembered as the skipper of the first All Black team to land the Grand Slam Tour of Britain and Ireland in 1978. And Murray also, a little bit controversial, made himself unavailable for selection during the controversial Tour of New Zealand in 1981. So he was he wasn't, I'm saying he was, I'm speaking in past tense, he's actually still alive. But absolutely fantastic player. Moving right along, Jessie McCormick, born this day, the 8th of September 1989 in Hamilton, New Zealand, is a women's basketball and netball player. At the 2006 Commonwealth Games, she won a silver medal as part of the Tall Ferns. That's the New Zealand women's basketball team. McCormick represented New Zealand in basketball again at the 2008 Summer Olympics in Beijing. So she moved between those two sports. So a very, very good athlete. She might even still be actually running around on the court. Now, finally, Stephen Downes, born this day, 8th of September 1975, is a former professional tennis player, and he's obviously from New Zealand. Now, back in 1993, Downes was the leading international junior and #1 ranked player with his partner James Greenhalgh, and in the designated ITF World Champions for juniors. So absolutely fantastic. Unfortunately for Downes, it didn't sort of equate to going on to make it at senior level, and he reached a ranking of 279, ended up with the amount of prize money. In fact, he was only pro for 3 years between 94 and 97, and earned $50,000 during that particular time. So age 44 today. Happy birthday to Stephen Downes, Graham Murray, and of course Jessica McCormick. Back to you, Paul.
Thank you very much, Stephen, for that. And the All Blacks, or some of the All Blacks, are available for the Mitre 10 Cup to this weekend. And I've just brought up online who is available. As you can see, Canterbury will have a number of players back: Cody Taylor, Sam Whitelock, Cullen Grace, Richard Mwanga, and George Bridge. And also Auckland, Alex Hodgman, To'ofa Tuangafasi, Patrick Tuipulotu, Akira Iwani, Hoskins Tutu, Rico Iwani, and Caleb Clark. Amazing how many All Blacks both those sides have got, and yes, they'll be seriously strengthened. It'll be a long time since Manawa 2 have seen Aaron Smith, for example, and you've got to say Taranaki will have also got Tupu Va'ai and Geordie Barrett back, with Scott Barrett and Bowden Barrett with injured. They've unfortunate to not get all. It would have been great to have seen all the Barrett brothers back in black and yellow. So some cracking games this weekend. Remember, folks, because of the COVID levels, I think most of, if not all, the games are being played behind closed doors. So you can do check before if you think about going to a game. And remember, they'll all be available to watch on Sky. I do believe a couple of games are going to be on free to air with Prime as well. So really looking forward to that. We'll be trying to get to a number of the games, depending on the protocols, to bring you reactions from the actual games themselves. And let's see if we can do that. Aaron says, looks like Paul has slept in. Dear me, no, I'm here, Aaron, don't worry. Thank you, everyone. But and also, yeah, Robert saying I need a coffee. You are quite right, I do need a coffee. It is definitely an early one here. Moving on then and into the tennis, and the big news here is that the overwhelming favourite Djokovic has been kicked out of the US Open. The rulebook says, in accordance with the Grand Slam rulebook, following his actions of intentionally hitting a ball dangerously or recklessly within the court, or hitting a ball with negligent disregard of the consequences, the US Open tournament referee defaulted Djokovic from the US Open. And because he was defaulted, he will lose all ranking points earned at the event will be fined, all prize only won at the tournament, in addition to any other fines that are levied with respect to the incident. A lot of abuse has been, including death threats, to the umpire, to the line judge, that he hit with the ball. But you can definitely see that, yes, he hit the ball with negligent disregard for the consequences, and it did hit the line judge, and so correctly he was defaulted from the event. Did he intentionally hit the ball to try and hit the line judge? No. I think we can all, I think everyone agrees that that's not what happened, but the facts are that he did hit the ball, and the ball hit the line judge, and therefore he has to default. He was the overwhelming favourite to win the US Open, especially when Roger Federer was missing through injury, and Nadal decided to stay in Europe. So this really does blow the US Open open on the men's side. Moving on then, I'm going to hand you back to Stephen, who's going to take us through our NRL update. It's the sport that just keeps on giving.
I don't know, Paul, after that tennis news, I think that tennis is the sport that's giving at the moment. I must admit, I did see the incident, and to be honest, I do feel a bit for Djokovic. I don't think he intentionally went to hit it. It looked more to me, there was a bit of frustration, but it looked more accidental. And to be quite frank, it wasn't that hard, So anyway, I suppose it is what it is, and rules are rules. But man, I think it's a little bit harsh. I just think he should have been fined. Seriously.
Well, it's the rules are the rules, and he has form as well. He has apparently a few years back hit the ball into the stands, and that's caused issues as well. I think we're having technical issues here. I don't know if it's at my end or at Stephen's end, but yes, we'll hand you back to Stephen for the NRL update. Hi, Stephen, are you still there? Looks like we've lost Stephen then, so we'll come back to that if he joins us back. Over in the netball, and former Blackburn Gale Parata has been named as the Central Pulse head coach. She had been due to take up another role, but COVID stopped her joining the Rays due to yes, good to see that she was available for this role, and we wish her all the best with the Central Pulse, obviously taking on the two-time or back-to-back champions at the moment. It's going to be a tough act to follow that she has there. Has he paid for his phone account? Yes. Well, I'm on the phone, so yeah, we are having some technical issues. Stephen, are you there?
Yes, I am. I am there. If you can hear me, Paul.
We can hear you. So let's go with the with our NRL update.
Yeah, no problem, no problems at all. The NRL has admitted that the New Zealand Warriors were the victim of a crucial refereeing error during their loss to the Parramatta Eels on Sunday. In the first half, Warriors forward Jazz Tavanga was sent to the sin bin for what seemed a relatively innocuous scuffle with Eels Nathan Brown. Tavanga was deemed to have struck out with a punch as he grabbed at Brown's jersey in an attempt to get to his feet to play the ball, and was promptly sent to the sidelines by ref Grant Aiken. While they were short-handed, the Warriors conceded 12 points to the Eels in a match they ultimately lost 24-18. Commentator Andrew Voss labelled it the worst sin binning of all time, while Warriors coach Todd Payton described Atkins' decision as the wrong call. NRL head of football Graham Annesley admits Tavanga shouldn't have been sin binned, but he wants the players to take more responsibility for their actions. And that's pretty much it. In league news this morning, not a lot happening. Remembering it's team naming Tuesday, so we'll have that Warriors team tomorrow morning, Paul, and that's for that crucial round 18 game against the Cronulla Sharks. on Sunday. And that's our league news today. Hey, have a great day, everybody. I know you can't see me, but I've got a big smile on my face. It's a beautiful day here in Auckland, and I hope you all have a great day.
Thank you very much, Stephen, as we battle through our technical issues there, folks. Over in the cycling, and it might be a rest day in the Tour de France, but Torino Andretico has kicked off. Pascal Ackermann has won the stage. So congratulations to him. And this is part of the warm-ups or build-ups to the Giro d'Italia and the Valletta España, the two other Grand Tour races that will be happening later this this season. So yes, Bora Hansgrove team getting their man across the line first there in that one. Also over here in New Zealand, and Le Race has been cancelled. This is a cycle race between Christchurch and Akaroa. Unfortunately, this has had to be cancelled as due to COVID-19 restrictions, because the next announcement is only going to be, they know that level 2s will be happening, and the next review is not expected until 3 days before the event, and that will be way too late for it. So unfortunately, that race will not be held this year down there in the South Island. You have now started the day the best way, up to speed with all of the important sports news. Thank you very much for joining us. We're back here at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning with the morning sports briefing. Also, we have 2 interviews with my Sin Cup coaches coming out today. So like our Facebook page, and or if you want to listen to those on the go, then search for New Zealand Sports Radio on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcatcher, and those interviews will come straight to you.